here, Kam and I are at the St. Joachim Cemetery in Edmonton. So, funny story, we were going to do this weeks ago, but unfortunately, I could not find, and she could not find the address for the cemetery. So we ended up being at different cemeteries. I'll show you that footage later. So I'm just showing you the sign for St. Joachim's.
That actually has the address on it.
Which
the website does not. So all those people going to funerals, they're just searching the city trying to find the place.
Yeah.
With the directions on there. But we are here now together as one.
Woohoo!
To get some EVP, hoping the spirits will be friendlier with the two of us.
Yes.
Than separately, or at least strengthen numbers. For us, not them.
So we're gonna do I'm gonna do the video for my channel, and then we're gonna do some audio only.
Yes.
Audio only for the podcast that we're going to be doing. So I'm super excited to be doing that with her. You're not allowed here after hours. I have no plans, but maybe someday we can come here before hours, but after the dark.
Technically, I was here after hours. I was here till after 8. I didn't Don't
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, you've got a. It's only a moth.
It's only a tarantula.
So,
That's
anyways,
a sign of a spirit.
Here. Oh yeah, sure.
That's.
So here's we're not inside yet, but I thought I'd show you a little view.
That's what you can see. It's actually two cemeteries juxtaposed.
Nice.
And
Maybe saving the Catholic and the ones that go to hell.
There's the Catholic part and then the hellbound ones. So they kind of fight it out underground, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So.
Woohoo! Okay, so let's start going
See
in.
a bit. Let's head on in. Let's head on in, Gail.
Woohoo! Let's head on in, Kam.
That's a beautiful bouquet there.
Yeah.
Let's just have a look. Those look fresh. No disrespect. I want to stress that there's no disrespect. There's great respect on both our parts for the souls who are residing. My own parents are here, and my beloved dog Rebel's ashes are actually here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's what I noticed last time, and I didn't know who'd done that. I figured one of my siblings had.
No,
This is
yeah.
lovely.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I think they're artificial though, because I know we put artificial ones, because I'm like, they're quite brilliant colors.
Yeah, they're totally artificial. But I like to see people, actually, taking care of the graves and coming and paying respects.
This looks very sad, just like the little bit of a story that gravestones will tell. Some tell a lot, and some tell a bit, but everyone tells something. And here you see there's a Paul who was born in 1919, and then a Paul F with just one date, 1951. And I'm assuming by the dates that was Paul F is Paul's child, who maybe lived 1 year.
Yeah, and
and then an additional.
Three, right?
So not quite sure of the story there, but it does look like a tragic one.
Maybe. Well, not really, because I assume these two people are still alive. It's okay. Awesome.
I'm just assuming that because of the one date that they died, they were born on that date.
No, because often gravestones have a room
they
for
have,
the other person.
But this is Gail. This is the issue with proper punctuation, even on a gravestone. They need to have what's called an M dash.
Uh-huh.
So technically, as an editor, technically that is determines a space between that. Without that, that looks like Paul F was born and died on the same day, which could be as a baby. He's 30. He's some 31 years, 32 years younger. So as a father, that would be.
And see, I just assumed
and
that
you
it
just
was
assume
like
that
so
Paul
close
F and
to.
Larry are.
Yeah.
But where's the female presence here? That's all I'm saying.
I know that thing. I don't
Okay.
know their stories.
What's the story? What's the story there? So
Okay.
maybe should we?
So let's leave these guys alone.
Okay,
or
we'll
this
leave
guy
them in
alone.
rest. Schindler.
So
Again, no
let's go-
disrespect at all.
No, not at all.
But do you think these people wanted to be so close to the fence like here? So Gail, what are your okay, Gail, I'm interested to know, what are your thoughts? I have very strong thoughts on this, like with many things. I ranted on and on to my siblings when my parents were buried here many years ago about how much I hate the flat gravestones.
I hate them too.
Okay, so we are in
We're
simpatico
yes,
when
we
it
are.
comes to that.
Because
Does this look like a graveyard pan, if you will pan and show? Okay, does this look like a gravestone, or does this look like don't step on the grass
this
signs?
looks like a cemetery just wants to save money on maintenance.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. No. I say that the graves, like the classical grave sites in the great cities of the world, all have cemeteries that are crumbling because there's people who've been there, even well-known individuals in their lifetime who've been there for centuries, and you can't keep things up for like 500, 600 years
Let's start walking.
easily. So the thing is what's the issue with having some gravestones and places fall into a bit of a what I call mystique de la merde, So I see no issue with that personally. I would be proud to be in a crumbling gravestone that was not landscaped as well, as opposed to under a flat marker.
But my issue is that it's not like these cemeteries are going bankrupt, right?
Oh, okay.
They
yeah.
can afford to keep up stuff. They just don't want to. My opinion is they just don't want to pay for it, which, as a business.
Oh, the ugly business of neoliberalism comes into.
Like, to me, I get it from a business standpoint, but I mean, people deserve respect.
They do. They
And
deserve.
to me, it's disrespectful to keep crumbling. You should do something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, but I'm talking, Gail, I'm not talking from the point of view of letting things deteriorate. I'm saying that if it's an issue of, it's easier, because that's what my siblings were saying.
it is
It's easier to maintain the flat stones than to try to do landscaping around the proper
Put out
proper
the few
headstones.
dollars is what
Put
I
out
said.
the few bucks, and they're like, it would have been more expensive, and I'm like, I'm willing to spend your money.
Well, they're willing to take our money.
Well, that's it. Okay, so now we're crossing the divide, and look how much more. Okay, look at the trees. Okay, granted, it's an older section, but look at the majestic trees.
They are
Imagine
majestic.
eternal rest
Yeah.
under these beautiful trees with the stones. This looks like a city of the dead, not like in New Orleans, which we both will.
Oh my God,
yeah,
New Orleans.
I mean, when my first trip to my beloved New Orleans, when I arrived from the airport from Louis Armstrong Airport to New Orleans proper, I knew I was in the Crescent City when I went past a graveyard. And I'm like, yes, I'm absolutely in New Orleans now.
To me, New Orleans, oh my God, New Orleans.
We
is
have
so
much to say,
awesome.
many future podcasts about New Orleans. From
But-
Edmonton to New Orleans.
Every city and every country has its own flavor for things. I mean, there's a reason why New Orleans has the actual, oh God, what do you call them? The
Mausoleums.
mausoleums.
The mausoleums,
Because
yeah.
To dig underground, you're gonna hit the water table.
The water table,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
So that's how they managed it. I mean, we don't have that problem.
When they first did that, before they realized that was an issue, and they buried the dead, this was back in the 1700s, right, when New Orleans became a city. Past last year was its 300th anniversary. They actually buried people only to have them bob back up
then
during
that would
a
be
storm.
awkward.
So rather unpleasant for all concerned.
Yeah.
So henceforth, but interesting fact, Gail, is my last trip to New Orleans, I did an unconventional midnight cemetery tour. We went into some cemeteries that people don't go in, including, very sadly, the Holt Cemetery, which was known as the Paupers Cemetery.
Right.
I was surprised and disturbed to see that there were indeed underground graves. And when I asked, when I asked a New Orleanian about it, and they said, that's what you get when you don't have much money. So apparently if you bob back up to the surface, but you don't come from a wealthy family or even a middle class family, that's just fine if you bob back up. So there are underground graves. It's just not for people who society says matter.
Well, you know,
There's my
even in my
socialist
own
commentary.
family, my
Yeah.
uncle did not have enough money to bury himself, so he was buried without a headstone.
Okay.
Because of course they don't let you stay above ground.
Yeah.
so to
No.
speak.
No.
But I mean, it's a sin because he's a person. Like we pulled out some money and eventually got him one.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
I'll tell you the story.
Yeah, that there sounds like a definite story there and many issues.
But it's heartbreaking. Like he would have gone out without a headstone. No one would ever know he was actually lived.
I
And it
always
breaks my heart.
that is heartbreaking. So where he rests now, does he rest in the same place he was eventually buried, but now there's a headstone?
Yes.
Or
'cause
was
we
he
placed one there.
disinterred?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he wasn't disinterred, but
Okay.
but
But it was placed. Oh, that
And
is
he-
heartbreaking.
he wanted to be in a specific cemetery because my dad's there and
Yeah.
my grandparents are there.
Okay.
And he was just lucky, basically, that he was able to do that. But he is way the hell away from them.
He's
you know
not
what I mean?
opposed to.
But I mean, he didn't plan it, and that's fair.
Yeah.
But to be buried without a headstone is just awful. And it's all economics, right?
It is. Actually, I was reading about how Janis Joplin, who's a particular favorite of mine, a great white-black blues singer, she was enormously influenced by the great blues singer Bessie Smith.
Right.
And she actually, when Janis got some money, when she celebrated, she actually purchased a headstone for Bessie Smith.
And that's
And
just
I
good
think that's
character.
so beautiful. And there's a number of instances too of a number of jazz musicians in particular and blues musicians who were influenced by earlier brilliant musicians who unfortunately never had any money in their lifetime and were often buried in unmarked graves where they have rectified.
And that's, but again, that's because they're famous.
That's it. But all of the whole thing. May I ask a few questions with your?
Okay.
Let's,
Okay, you can.
may I ask a question with regards to your uncle in terms
Sure.
of when somebody is buried without like a marker? How do they know there's a grave there?
Because they have a map
Okay.
and they know where people are buried. You can't just random. I mean, I suppose you
okay.
could randomly bury people, but I mean, they have a map. They all just the people in charge of the cemetery. The people in charge of the cemetery know where people are.
Oh,
They don't
of
just,
course,
like,
of course,
throw you
yeah,
anywhere,
yeah.
like,
It's not like
at least not now.
Okay, yeah. It's not like in a school. No, I understand that. I don't need to be flip about such a serious thing.
It's just,
Yeah.
and I don't
But,
mean to be flip either. See, I love this. This is what I love. Okay, let me get a
Okay.
shot of
Okay. What is it that you love?
not only the ornateness of this gentleman's
Oh, the photo. I
the
just
photo.
Oh,
Like, that is great. At least we know,
that's just beautiful.
isn't it a gorgeous grave?
That is,
though?
and that really is a stunner. You don't see. It's very common. When I was in Malaysia a number of years ago, going to the graveyards, then often the graves are shaped in a shape of a circle.
Uh-huh.
So commemorative works because it's the circularity of life that fits into Asian culture. But almost all of the graves had a photo of the person, and I hadn't really seen that in any Western graves, or not as a common thing, but it's very common. At least it was in the Malaysian graveyards that I went to.
Like my grandma and grandpa's grave have a photo. My dad's have a photo. Now my uncle's has a photo. Because at least you get to see who they were. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, with older graves. I mean, it is
Yeah,
what it is, right? Like,
you're just thinking about that, Gail. In older graves, they probably, the people of those times wouldn't maybe even had many pictures in their own lifetime.
well, exactly, right?
You
So,
know?
I mean,
My mom doesn't have a single picture of her father. Not that was, yeah. So, I remember reading about lots of death involved in our sub conversations, but in the Halifax explosion, which I became obsessed. One of many things I became obsessed with, and what we were talking about, the sadness was is people who lost family members had not a single picture. Hard to imagine in our times in which many people, friends of mine, have records of every meal they've eaten on vacation.
yeah, Jesus, yeah.
So to be able to say, oh, my brother died, and, when he was 20 in this, in this horrible disaster, and I don't have a single photo, it just sort of seems so remarkable. So, on the gravestone, that would be.
Now, I just want to say something before. Like, the professionals in the funeral industry have always been really great, like, in regards to our family. And I know that they're great with everybody.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, I am actually surprised how well kept this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because whenever I've gone to see my grandparents' grave and my dad's in a monument wall.
Oh,
But
okay.
my grandparents.
So
were
your
like
father was cremated?
Yeah.
Your father was cremated.
So is my, like, all of them were.
Yeah.
But whenever I've gone to the, where they're married, or the cemetery where they're married, like, this grass has started to grow over the gravestone, which is why I don't like those kind of gravestones, because I can't be there often. I don't.
Okay, so you don't want to.
So I
see
can't
what
go,
you're saying.
like, I can't go often by any means. So it kind of breaks my heart to think that it's grown over.
I see.
Do you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying
But
with
this
that.
cemetery, I gotta say, it's spectacular.
Yeah, isn't it nice though?
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so well kept, and I kudos to whoever.
I thought you would appreciate that. There is a certain respect.
Yeah, like, to me, it's so respectful when you see a well-kept cemetery. But I mean, I know that stuff happens, but it just kind of makes me a little angry when I see ill-kept.
Okay.
Place. And I'm not okay. I have to also qualify that. the cemetery that my dad and family are buried in isn't ill-kept.
Yeah.
It's just that whenever I've gone there, they've let, like, the graves grow. I mean, the grass is always perfect.
Yeah.
Right? But, But I see that they let.
There's a bit of negligence.
I don't want to say that. That's
okay.
That's a strong word.
Okay, too strong of a word. Okay.
But it's like it's not like, for example, this grave here, right? Like, literally, the grass has grown over.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't see, you can barely see this.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So the grass is all, like, it looks great. Long,
Yeah.
but maybe not so much. But that was my, like, the last time I went there.
Okay.
And it just, people deserve more respect than
They
that.
absolutely do. And I hear what you're saying.
So the grounds are kept exceedingly well. It's just when I see that.
Look how beautiful it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like,
I'm seeing it through your eyes. I've not really thought about that. Because I do have, this being said, I have an affinity for the type of sort of classic old graveyards with it overgrown and neglected, where I don't have family members or people that I love buried.
Yeah.
So it becomes more, nor is it people who have recently been buried there.
Right.
We're talking about like hundreds of years, and not that their lives had less meaning, but being far removed, it becomes that whole, you know.
It's more the detailing of the grass around the graves. Like,
Okay.
I mean, come on, this is a great cemetery. You can
Yeah.
actually see. I wonder what happened there.
Well, you know
See
what?
what I
It's
mean?
interesting because I went over to this one when I was in relation. When I was here, and I thought, somebody like, how do you knock that? Because at first I thought, here's my first thought when I saw this grave last time I was here, was that somebody is making a statement about their faith being broken. Then I thought vandalizing.
Well, I mean,
I'm like,
I mean, it's hard to say, but can't you pull out a few bucks and repair it?
but maybe that's made as a statement. That was
But
my
maybe
thought.
it's not. I
Maybe
can't
it's
see-
not. Well, no, more
When
likely
things
than
are made
not.
as this,
Yeah.
like when
But
things
mind
break, you fix it.
Okay, no
Right?
disrespect to John Joseph Connell, but family, whoever has done up his grave, just went with the abbreviation, so R.I.P. To me, that's kind of go
See,
with
that
the
just-
rest in peace.
You know what? To me,
Rip.
it's like,
You're not writing
maybe
like
it's more
an
cost
email
effective.
for.
well, I mean, resting. I think it's just a style.
I suppose, but it's one I cannot support.
Okay, well, take it up with John. I don't
And
know.
I understand that when you're engraving stone, that it is not an inexpensive business in terms of stone creation or inscription. And at the same time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? But to me, that's just a style.
okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, it's a non-issue.
Okay, it's not a hill I would die on, but it's something that makes me go,
But I
Okay.
mean, I can't see an expensive piece of stone. Like, to me, this is just broken.
okay.
Whether it be through vandalization
Or some,
Some
I'm trying to
natural
remember what natural,
thing,
what would
I
cause
don't
that.
know. But to me, pull out a few bucks. I mean, it's your cemetery. But that's just my opinion. And I mean, that's just my opinion.
So I'm looking at this one and seeing, and I thought that was a fresh, that looks a very new stone, and yet the person in question died tragically at, obviously in the First World War at 18 in 1918. So this looks to me, what do you think, was something that's being erected recently?
Yeah, or rejuvenated.
Oh, or rejuvenated.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But then look at this one.
I was thinking maybe we could interview. I'd love to do an interview with somebody who does do like inscription or headstone. Would that make for an interesting interview? I'm doing
Yeah,
this
it
kind of
would.
as an aside, but just thinking of monument and just all the issues that come about through that. Because when you were saying about rejuvenated, I'm like, what's the process that they do for that? Like, how do you go about that?
Well, actually, I've seen a video on a guy that actually does that on his spare time.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of cool. Like, he cleans it.
Really?
Well, basically, just,
Somebody at Edmonton?
no.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So
But no
anyway,
reason remotely that they couldn't, because I think this would, there's all sorts of, as we go about our adventures, sort of speaking to the thing as we go about our adventures, Gail, is that as we're going through the process, there's questions that I have and issues that I haven't really thought about before, haven't thought much about, that would be interesting to go deeper into.
yeah, like, and also, I mean, with my issue about the growing over, I mean, maybe there's another reason other than economics that people don't.
Could be.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So, I mean,
Economics is a big one, but it's not the
So-
only one.
so what I said
Yeah.
before is just really just an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't asked anybody why they wouldn't just take the time to, while they're doing the lawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want, I'm not like placing
No,
blame on
no,
anybody
and I don't.
or-
I don't.
But to
think our
me, at this point,
listeners-
it looks like just economics.
Yeah, sure.
Like
sure.
I don't want to. They don't want to spend the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And oftentimes many things can be traced back to that. Follow the money or the lack thereof.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. But that would be interesting to pursue the question of, are there other issues? Because one of the things that's come about through having attended a recent funeral is all of the family dynamics and the family issues that come into play,
Right.
and the complications that creates about who owns the memory of a person and who owns, or who not owns,
And the
but
family,
who's
I
guardian.
own it.
And the family, and
Yeah.
that, and even keeping of ashes of people, and the person in
Yeah.
question wasn't cremated, it has been buried, but at the same time, that does then become an issue of, you know, when my brother-in-law's, his mom passed away
Right.
last year in Australia, and he and my sister went to Australia for the memorial,
Mm-hmm.
and then everyone got sort of a portion of the ashes. So it sounds terrible, and again, no respect. Lovely lady was Desma. That seems as though like you're divvied up. There's something about it that really bothers me. And as a person who definitely does not want to be cremated, I absolutely want to be buried for reasons I can get into, because I like the idea of my rotting. But that's a whole other.
Okay.
That's a whole. Well, I don't like the idea of like, and this is just me personally. Everyone has to decide, of course. So I'm speaking for myself. I don't like the one, if there is any foul play involved with my eventual demise, there's no way to, what do they call it, interior, or
Did they take care of that before?
no, but there's been times where it's like funny business, and I'm not expecting to be murdered.
I
Don't-
hope so.
don't let
I
that
guess
down.
I would like her
Yeah,
to hurt me a lot.
I don't plan. But also the other issue with Desma, my brother-in-law's mother, is that because of the whole pandemic, they were going to scatter her ashes in a place in which she visited them in Canada she really loved, but they're not able to do that because of the bans on things. So they have her, so she's in holding for the time. So whereas you couldn't do that, I dare say you could not do that even in a cooling place with a corpse.
Oh, jeez. Like a freezer?
So
A
in a
cooling
free,
place
a
is a
cooling
freezer.
place, yeah, like a free. Well, I was thinking like not your own home freezer,
No.
hopefully, but it's just like
Sorry, I
there's
don't
more
like
of an
you that much.
immediacy like that. Just keep me there, and it's just like parts of me. I don't know, the whole thing. I'm very adamant about. I have said I'm telling everyone as a witness, like everyone I'm close to, that should something happen to me, no cremation, burial.
Fair.
Maybe taxidermy. No, actually.
Absolutely not. I like you, but not that much.
Well, can you imagine the difference between the live me? I think even just getting a sense of me verbally, you get a sense of what a vibrant woman that I am.
But do you want one of those things where you're posed at your
Oh
funeral?
yeah, absolutely. I want to be lying on my leopard print chaise lounge with a fabulous compact that was once my mom's, applying lipstick for eternity. That's
Well, you heard it here
basically-
first, people.
There,
from
that's
Cam's
what I
lips.
want. There you go. Literally from my living lips to my embalmed ones, although with the collagen that I've had implanted, they may be. No, I'm just joking.
Oh,
These
Jesus.
are my
She
own
has
lips.
no collagen.
She has that. No, these are natural lips on all parts of my body. But what's that?
We're at 28 minutes,
20
so I kind
minutes?
of want to keep it to 30.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Because, you know.
yeah. No, I hear you.
Okay.
So, did you get a sense of where you'd like to go for the EVP? I'm thinking of the one with the picture of the fellow.
Well, I saw one with Colbert, and we just finished watching some of Steve Colbert.
Okay,
so
that
we
could
do
be
more than
interesting.
one.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. There's no reason that we can't. And
Yeah.
again, I do want to state that this is done with the utmost of respect
Absolutely.
for people. This is not like as a party game. This is more of a sense of affirming the whole spiritual nature and the fact that the soul, I believe, is immortal and lives on.
Yeah.
Whether people
Yeah.
will communicate with us
Is up to them.
is
if
up
they
to
can,
them
right?
if they can. Who knows? Neither you or I, until we go into that great mystery, hopefully not soon,
Not
but at
soon.
some point, until that time, nobody can say with certainty
Exactly, right?
what it's like.
And I mean, we may get something, we may not. but it doesn't like preclude any like either option of it being mortal soul or you're just done.
That's it.
So,
that's it.
Yeah.
Either way, you're at peace.
Yep. So I'm gonna sign off.
Okay.
Thank you, Kam.
My pleasure, Gail.
And yeah, see you guys.
See you in the next world.
Woohoo! Thank you for joining me at Joachim Cemetery in Edmonton. I want to thank Kam, my special guest star.
It's my pleasure.
And Kam and I will be doing some of these together, and some of them I will be doing myself. We'll be going all over Edmonton to interesting places, and hopefully you will join me. Thank you so much, and have a great day.